Hey, what's up you guys? It's Caboose bringing you another Marvel's Avengers video, and today what I got for you guys here is some really exciting news. I got my chance finally to play Marvel's Avengers. I got my hands on with the game, and I wanted to give you guys my impressions of that right here in this video. But before we do so, I wanted to ask you guys, of course, if you could leave a like rating on the video as it shows your support, and I would really appreciate it. So if you could leave a like, that would be awesome. And with that said, well, let's jump into this. So I am here right now in Seattle at my hotel room recording this as I have just gotten my chance to play Marvel's Avengers here at PAX West, and well, I got a lot to talk about. In my time with the hands-on, I was actually only able to play the A-Day demo, which is the thing that everyone has seen that is now online right now, that 20-minute demo, that 20-minute gameplay where you run through each character in the main roster of Avengers, the core 5 characters of the Avengers that you get to play as in that A-Day demo. That's what I got to get my hands on with. And there are some things that I liked about it and some things that I had some reservations about. So starting off with the things that I liked, all the characters, for the most part, play really well. There are only 2 characters that I wasn't having the most fun with, but I thought they were enjoyable, and I just want to play more of them in a non-controlled environment to see how I really feel. And those 2 characters were Iron Man and Black Widow. I'll talk a little bit more about them when I get to my reservations, but in regards to the characters that I liked playing as, or I should say I loved playing as, Thor, Hulk, and especially Captain America are an absolute blast in this game. Captain America is such a badass. Tossing that shield feels so satisfying. Using his special moves, incredible. He was so much fun to play as. I was itching to just get back in there and play as him again, and I unfortunately could not. And then Thor is the runner up there. Using the hammer is just as amazing as you expect it to be. They had one of the lead combat designers from God of War working on this game, so it definitely takes a bit of that inspiration from the latest God of War game with the axe, where you use the left trigger to aim, then you use the right trigger, and this also works for Captain America. You use the right trigger to toss the hammer, but if you hold the right trigger, you'll do this charge shot where you toss the hammer and they'll get launched into the air, and then you can press the left trigger again to call the hammer back to you and watch your enemy just fall down to the ground. It's pretty awesome. There are some really cool things that you can do with Thor, and then once you integrate his special abilities and he's going full God of Thunder mode, oh my goodness, what a blast that character is. And then Hulk is the giant brute force that you also expect him to be. You can pick up some of the enemies and literally toss them. I'm not kidding. At one point, I pick up an enemy, I hold the left trigger to aim with the guy in my hand, and then I press the right trigger, and I was throwing dudes off the San Francisco Bridge. It was pretty crazy, some of the things that you could do with Hulk. One of the things that I also noticed is there are a lot of things that you see in the A-Day demo that's available online that you can't actually do right away when you get your hands on the game. There are certain abilities that the characters have that are upgraded within their skill trees. So for instance, you see in the A-Day demo that's available online, Hulk is able to pick up 2 guys and slam them together. That's not something that I had available to me in the demo that I was playing and had my hands on with. That was actually something they had mentioned is something that you get an ability to unlock later on in the game as part of a skill tree for the character. So overall, the gameplay was super solid, but again, I think the one thing that I'm expecting or want to see with this game is playing as these characters in this non-tutorial environment, because the gameplay that I was playing is very much this controlled environment with a ton of action and lots of explosions and craziness going on around you to help make it feel very cinematic, very epic. So you're going to be in it. You're going to enjoy a lot of what you're playing there. But when it comes to playing, just a normal run-of-the-mill mission, I want to see what that's going to feel like when I'm playing as these characters, because that'll be the real testament to how enjoyable this game can be. Now, okay, when it comes to my reservations, as I mentioned, the 2 characters that I had the least fun with were Iron Man and Black Widow. Specifically in Iron Man's case, and this has something to do with just the tutorial, which again goes back to the point I just made, is that I really didn't get to experience too much of the flying and what it truly feels like, because I was going in just one direction. I was going straight forward, attacking the enemies in front of me, just constantly hitting the right trigger to shoot them with the repulsor blast, and that was it. And then inevitably it got to a point where I could hover around and fight some of the enemies, and that's where I was having a little more fun. But overall, Iron Man, I'm not entirely sure. I think there's going to be a little more enjoyment to be had with him once you upgrade the character a little more and start utilizing the different abilities you can unlock in his skill trees. And then in Black Widow's case, I didn't really feel too much variety there. You're just shooting her pistols and hitting and mashing the buttons to attack your enemies. There really wasn't too much there. But then again, the only experience you get playing as Black Widow is fighting against Taskmaster, and that's a boss battle where you kind of just have to mash buttons and shoot him constantly to drain that health bar. So not too much there when it comes to those two characters, but as I mentioned, the previous point that I made still applies here. I want to try out these characters in some different missions that aren't as controlled in terms of the way this one was. I also really like, and this is something that you don't see in the 8-day demo that's available online because it's supposed to be more of a presentation and not what the actual gameplay looks like, and that is that there are health bars for each of the enemies that you're facing off against. You can see their health bar draining, you can see your own character's health bar, and when you face off against Taskmaster, he also has a boss battle level health bar, so I'm guessing that's what we're going to see for a ton of the other boss battles that we're going to be able to encounter throughout the entirety of the game, and I really love that, seeing the damage numbers, seeing what I'm doing, what's effective, all that stuff is valuable information. It's just something you don't see in the presentation that's available online because it's meant to be more cinematic and just show you the action and show you how cool the game plays and how cool the game looks. But when you actually get your hands on the game, all that information I feel is going to be really valuable. And I'm wondering as well, I'm assuming this will be a possibility because of the way that the 8-day demo turned out online, that you'll most likely be able to turn off those damage numbers and all that stuff if you wanted to. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is something that we've been talking about. It's been the hot topic of Marvel's Avengers since the game has been revealed. The graphics department definitely needs some work. When you're going through the motions and you're actually playing through the game, you can see that some improvements still need to be made. Granted, what I was playing was a pre-alpha build, so it's a very early build of the game, and we're many months away until May 15, 2020. So I'm sure a lot of improvements are still yet to be made, and I want to reserve my full judgment on graphics until we reach May 15, 2020. Because if the game still looks how it looks today, next year, then we got some issues. But I'm not panicking yet because even if the graphics don't look the greatest, trust me when I say that the gameplay really makes up for it. This game is so much fun, and I guarantee once we reach the release date, we're all going to be having a blast playing Marvel's Avengers, especially jumping online with our friends with the online co-op. That is going to be so much fun. And that's it. That brings us to the end of the video that I got for today. I got one more video coming for Marvel's Avengers in terms of some additional stuff that I got to see that unfortunately isn't available online, but I will be detailing in another video. So stick around for that. Keep yourself tuned into the channel as I will be uploading that within the next day or two, so you can keep an eye out for that. And with that said, I'm now going to kick it to you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think this game looks like it's going to live up to the hype based on what you've seen so far? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, if you could leave a like rating on it, it shows your support, and I would really appreciate it. I'm Caboose, and you can click on screen to make your way to one of the other videos on the channel, or you can click my logo to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and like me on Facebook. Those links are in the description. Drop a like if you enjoyed, leave a comment if you have an opinion, and subscribe if you're new. See you guys later.